Welcome to today's Building Better Business webinar on the MyCTSavings program. We've had a lot of interest on this topic, so we're going to give it just another minute or two just to make sure everyone gets in and doesn't miss any part of this valuable presentation. So I'll be right back. Welcome to today's Building Better Business webinar on the MyCTSavings program. I'm Kristen Johnson. I'm the Director of Communications here for Better Business Bureau serving Connecticut. The state of Connecticut estimates that more than 500,000 workers in our state do not have access to an employer-sponsored retirement plan. A new law changes that, requiring businesses with 5 or more employees to offer them an option. Connecticut is also rolling out the MyCTSavings program. Today, State Comptroller Natalie Braswell and MyCTSavings Director Jessica Muirhead are here to explain how the program works, the potential benefits to your business and your employees, and the requirements of the state law. Natalie served for 10 years as General Counsel and Assistant State Comptroller under Kevin Lembo before being appointed to fill the remainder of his term. The MyCTSavings program was created by state legislation in 2016 to help employees easily and automatically save for a dignified retirement. Jessica joined the effort in 2020 through the Office of the State Comptroller and oversaw the execution of the pilot program and the full launch statewide in March. Matt Golden, Director of Retirement for Vestwell State Savings, the program's administrator, is also here today to answer questions. So if you have any questions that you think of throughout the presentation, please put them in the chat and all 3 will be available to answer them at the end. And the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen. Hello, my name is Natalie Braswell, and I am your State Comptroller. I'd like to first start out by thanking the Better Business Bureau for inviting us to speak with you all today. As we pointed out, I'm here today with Jessica Muirhead, Director of MyCTSavings, and Matt Golden, sorry, Matt, Director of Retirement for Vestwell State Savings. In a few minutes, I'm going to ask Jessica and Matt to speak more about the program. But I'd like to start by giving some background about the program, its purpose, and the initiative that we launched just a couple months ago. Across the country, there is a growing gap of workers who don't have enough savings for retirement. As of 2021, 51% of Americans have increased concerns about retirement due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and nearly 70% of Americans are worried that they just don't have enough to save for the future. What's more, millions of workers don't have easy access to retirement savings through their paychecks and payroll deduction. In Connecticut alone, more than 600,000 workers have no access to an employee-sponsored retirement plan. To address these urgent needs here in Connecticut, MyCTSavings was created by law to help Connecticut employees save for a dignified future with minimal impact to our business community. I'm now going to introduce you all to Jessica to take over and provide more details for you on the program and how you can participate and sign up. Jessica?
Thank you, Comptroller. Hi, everyone, and thank you for having us here today. Over the next few minutes, we'll cover what the program is, how it works, and how it will affect you and your employees. So we'll start with what is MyCTSavings. The program was designed by the Connecticut Retirement Security Authority to help address the gap in retirement savings access, but was made with sensitivity to small employers like yourselves who may not be able to offer their own retirement plan due to cost, administrative burden, or risk to your business to act as a fiduciary. MyCT Savings addresses all three of these issues. The program is free to businesses, simple to facilitate, often taking just minutes per pay period, and your business will have no fiduciary responsibilities. All you have to do is facilitate the program and maintain your employee records. At its core, the program works by linking your employees to an individual Roth IRA retirement account directly through their paycheck. Eligible employees are automatically enrolled by the program and have complete control over their accounts with the opportunity to opt out or change their contributions at any time. So who is affected by this program? MyCT Savings is required to facilitate for employers who do not already have a qualifying retirement plan and who, as of October 1st of the previous calendar year, which would be 2021 now, had more than 5 employees. Both part-time and full-time employees are included, and at least 5 of those employees must have been paid $5,000 or more in taxable wages in the last calendar year. If your business falls under these criteria, you will need to sign up your eligible employees for this program. Eligible employees provide services within the state of Connecticut, are 19 years of age or older, and have worked at their qualifying employer for at least 120 days. While eligible employees must be enrolled into the program, they have control over their account and can opt out at any time, which we'll go over in a little more detail in a moment. So we know that you're busy with attending to your business needs. So if this program applies to you, your role is an easy 3-step process. You are not responsible for employee financial education, managing your employees' retirement accounts, or for any of the program costs. Our system works with your payroll processes to streamline payroll contributions, and you can even assign your payroll provider, if you have one, to manage the process for you. First, you'll register your business at the secure online portal using a unique access code, which will be provided to you via communications from us, or which can be obtained at any time by contacting our help center. Second, you'll upload your payroll and employee information into the system so that contributions are made on your payroll cycle. Only the information needed to open a Roth IRA account will be required, and the data is kept strictly confidential, just like any other retirement account. All accounts and the online portal are professionally managed by the program's contracted administrator, Vestwell State Savings, and the Bank of New York Mellon. Lastly, you will only need to upload contributions on your pay cycle and keep your staff lists up to date. Employers from our pilot testing phase tell us that making contributions took them just minutes out of the week to provide retirement access to their employees. And then that's it. So what this means for your employees: after your business completes sign up and submits employee information, employees will be automatically enrolled into their accounts by the program. and you won't need to worry about managing your employees' materials or accounts. The program will communicate directly with them to inform them of their options. We know that individual needs may vary, so employee participation is always voluntary. No contributions will be made for the first 30-day opt-out period, which gives your employees the chance to consider what makes the most financial sense for them. Your employees will have 3 options. First, they can do nothing during this time, in which case they will be defaulted into the standard savings and investment options, a 3% payroll contribution in a diversified target date fund based upon their year of birth. Or they can customize their savings choices, including changing their contribution levels and choosing from a variety of different investment mixes. Or they can opt out of the program entirely for now and opt in at a later date when savings makes more sense for them. With MyCTSavings, your employees have control. They will have access to online tools and real people at our customer service center if they have questions. They can change their investment options at any time. Their accounts are portable if they ever change jobs, and if they do opt out, they can opt back in. But what if you already provide a retirement savings program for your employees? Employers who offer a retirement benefit are exempt from MyCTSavings and will only need to certify that exemption. Certifying exemption is easy. First, you'll just make sure that your benefit qualifies as a retirement plan under the IRS code. Then you'll use your unique sign-in code to log on to the portal, certify your exemption with a few quick details, and that's it. You'll only need to update your exemption if you ever drop your plan and no longer provide a retirement benefit. So some deadlines and getting started early. After a 6-month pilot phase, MyCTSaving launched on April 1st of this year and is now available to all eligible employers. Employers who fall under the program's criteria will need to either sign up or certify their exemption by these deadlines set out over the next year. The deadlines are based on the number of employees that you have. If you have 100 or more employees, you will need to respond by the end of next month, June 30th. If you have 26 to 99 employees, your response is needed by October 31st. And if you have 5 to 25 employees, you have until March 30th of next year. But you don't have to wait to get started. You can sign up at any time to provide retirement access to your employees today so they can start saving for tomorrow, and we're here to help. Our employer support team is available to you by calling 1-833-811-7435, or you can visit www.myctsavings.com for more information at any time. And that's it for this morning. Thank you for joining us and for your interest in this program. So we'll be happy to take any questions that you have from the chat.
Jessica, I do see a couple questions already. The first one is, what if during a calendar year you had 5 employees, but as of present you do not? Can you still sign up for this program having less than 5 employees?
So the law says, the legislation says that an eligible employer is someone who had 5 employees out as of October 1st of last year. It doesn't really speak to how many are currently. So I would say that that employer would be eligible this year, but if as of October 1st of this year, would not be eligible next year.
So they could join for a year, but then they would get cut off if they wanted to continue with the program.
Right, unless they had 5 employees by October of this year.
Okay. I think that question came in a few times. Another one, what if we have less than 5 employees? You answered that. Do the contributions earn any interest?
So there's, I'll let Matt maybe speak to that, but you know, it's like a Roth IRA account like any other. So the contributions are invested into a target date fund investment mix portfolio, which, you know, carries the risk of any investment portfolio. Matt, do you have anything
Yeah,
to add
that's
to
correct. That's correct. So it's a target retirement fund. So there is invested according to a glide path schedule that matches the individual's age at retirement. So it's invested in a mix of underlying mutual funds that are invested in equities and bonds and money markets. So yes, it is targeted so that folks will gain a return on their investment, like any other retirement plan or program.
Brian wants to know, what are the fees associated with it? Fund fees, anything else?
Sure. So the way that the program is supported is not through fees on the employer, but on fees on the asset accounts. So the contributions made. Currently, that is, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 0.2% asset fee plus a $26 a year flat fee.
That's correct.
So how is the program being funded? Is there any other funding beyond it, like taxpayer dollars, or how does the program itself be funded without charging the employees?
So that is the funding is
Just that.
coming from those fees. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Jeanette wants to know, are there materials available to send the employees that explains the program?
Matt, would you like to speak to that?
Sure. So there are resources and materials available, such as fact sheets and explainers about the program at MyCTSavings.com, as Jessica mentioned. So information is there for the employer if they would like to share those materials with their employees. But I think one of the keys that Jessica mentioned is that the program handles all of the communications directly to the employees when an employer registers and adds their employee information. And so notices will go out to the employees to let them know just the same information that Jessica went through, that they have 30 days to do nothing, opt out, or customize their account. After that 30-day period, if they do nothing, then they'll receive a final enrollment packet. So program materials are available for employers to share and reference for their employees, but employees will be communicated to by the program, and that's not an employer responsibility.
Robert wanted to know if a traditional 401k is offered. You said this is a Roth IRA?
It is a Roth IRA. Unfortunately, we cannot offer a 401k because that would be an employer-sponsored plan, and this is not an employer-sponsored plan. Due to federal law and regulation, we're not able to offer a 401k or any kind of employer-sponsored plan through this program.
Will employee contributions be done through the MyCT Connect portal, or is a separate link to be used?
There is that MyCTSavings.com is the one link. And then within there are two paths that you can go to. One is the employer portal, so where employers or their payroll representative would use to enter payroll contributions. And the other path is for employees to go view their account or to make any changes to their individual retirement account. But everything goes through the MyCTSavings.com and funnels from there.
If someone is retired and they are the age of 73, can they still participate?
So because it is a Roth IRA, if you have earned income, you can contribute.
Okay, can you repeat what employers do if the employees are not interested?
So the employees make that selection by themselves. The employer's responsibility is just to upload the employee's information. Then the employee, if they're not interested, would opt out themselves. So the employer is not responsible for opting employees out on their
Okay.
own.
Also, someone asks, I'm not sure I understand. If you have a payroll company, do they upload the employee's information?
So Jessica, I'll take that one. So as part of the registration process for an employer, the employer can identify what we call a teammate, someone that you identify as the employer who will help administer the program for you or will take the lead, somebody on your staff, but it could be the person who does your payroll, and it may be somebody at a payroll company. And so the program will send out a notice to that teammate to say you've been added by this employer. And once accepted, once that teammate logs on, they can add the employees or they can facilitate the ongoing payroll, say submitting contributions, bi-weekly, whatever the case may be.
What if we have employees that work for a Connecticut company but reside outside of Connecticut?
So the legislation states that it's an eligible employee is someone who provides services within Connecticut. So they don't necessarily need to live in Connecticut.
Okay, and you answered this earlier, but are you going to have literature to send to the employees?
So the
Yes,
answer is yes.
Yes.
Is there a maximum or minimum that someone can contribute?
There's no minimum, but the maximum would be based upon IRS law. So the maximums would be the maximum for a Roth IRA, which is dependent upon a couple of factors, including age.
That's right. So at under age 50, it's 6,000 right now set by the IRS per year. And over age 50, it's 7,000 set by the IRS per year.
Okay, we offer a retirement plan, George says. Employees must be with the company 1 year to participate. Does that excuse us from the program, or are we required to offer the new employees this program from day 120 to day 365, and then they can move to our program?
No, if the company provides a retirement benefit to its employees, then it is exempt from the program. So, regardless of whether there's an onboarding period before they obtain that benefit.
Okay. If we have a company plan, but it is not a Roth IRA, and some EE have expressed an interest in opening an IRA, can we enroll and allow EE who do not participate in our simple plan, but would like the Roth IRA through MyCTSavings? Can we have both?
Matt, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, I think by law, the employer would be exempt from the program. I think in the future, the program is considering the option for an individual to join directly if they like, but there needs to be some additional legislation to make that happen.
If employees fail to opt out within the 30-day period, does the employer then need to start deducting and contributing?
Yes.
And how are the employees contacted?
Oh, I'll take that one. So as part of the registration that the employer goes through at the beginning to provide the necessary information to open up a Roth IRA, we're asking for name and address as well as email address. And if the employer has the email address, the program will email out the program communications. The program will send out the email communications via email. If the employer does not have an email address, a mailing address is required. And so the program communications will go out via paper mail.
Even if the employer is exempt, can they still join?
No, if an employer is exempt, they're actually prohibited from participating in the program at this time.
Okay. I think those are all the questions. Let's give it another 30 seconds. Oh, here comes another one. I'm under 50, so I would contribute $6,000 per year. What is my cost to participate? Can you give me a number?
So that would be based upon how much they were contributing, right, Matt?
That's correct. So the annual account fee, account fee is $26 per year to have an account in the program. The investment cost is a combination of the investment fees of the target date index funds, which are very low, and the 20 basis point investment fee. I don't have that calculation in front of me based solely on a $6,000 figure, but yeah, so it would be a mix of that $26 account fee and that small asset-based fee.
Okay, that may have been the last question. Let's give it a couple more seconds, just in case anyone thinks of something else. In the meantime, if there are any questions after we wrap up, what's the best way they can get a hold of you to get those questions answered?
So you can always call the 800 number, which Jessica reiterated or stated. I'll say it again. It's 833-811-7435, but it's listed out there on the MyCTSavings.com. And there's plenty of great information about the program on MyCTSavings.com, including explainer videos for both employers and employees.
Okay, we have another question. How are the fees charged?
So the dollar fee, the $26 annual fee, is charged on a quarterly basis. And the asset-based fee is charged on a daily basis through the calculation of the price of the target date funds.
If an EE is in this program and changes jobs, does it carry over, and can they continue with this program?
So the EE, meaning the employee, which I like that terminology, the employee owns this account. This is their retirement account. So when and if they ever change jobs, this account will always be theirs. They can continue to contribute to it by linking their own bank account, which they can do at any time if they'd like to add money from their own bank account directly into their IRA account. And if they change jobs to an employer who also offers or facilitates MyCTSavings, they can restart their payroll contributions.
When I first learned of this program, I contacted our nationally known payroll company, which at the time did not know much about it and told me that they would not be able to administer the program for us. Is that true?
Yeah, I think there are different payroll companies who, operate differently as far as how they work together with these programs. I will tell you that you mentioned nationally, these programs are growing across the country, state by state. And we see that more and more payroll companies are looking for ways to partner with these programs to help the administration and the ease for their clients to administrate these programs. But even if the payroll company cannot, we've built this to be a simple process for the employer to upload payroll contributions on a regular basis in a simple and easy manner.
Couple more questions. If I offer a 401k, I cannot offer this program. Must I register as exempt?
Yes, so you can't, a business that has a qualifying retirement benefit, it cannot participate in the program, but they also, because of the state's requirement, need to certify that they are exempt from the program.
Our
But that
employers
takes a few minutes. Oh, I'm
okay.
sorry.
I'm sorry. Are employers mandated to offer this program?
Yes, that's correct. If they do fall under the criteria previously stated.
If we start with this, but then later add a 401k plan, what happens?
So in that case, they would no longer be eligible for this program. So that would be, I guess we would have to work that out with the.
Yeah, the employer would contact the program and indicate that they have started a qualified retirement plan. And the program would then mark them as exempt. But the individual retirement accounts for their employees will remain in place until that employee decides they want to do something differently, or if they want to continue to add to them. But it's important for the employer to notify the program if they do start a 401k, a qualified retirement plan, so the program knows that they are now exempt.
So what happens if you're an employer and you're supposed to sign up for this and you don't, is there a fine, or what happens to you if you don't register?
So at this time, we're really focusing on trying to help our business community, come into compliance with the law and to try and make this as easy as possible. So that's our main focus right now, is to help employers. It may, in the future, there may be fines associated with non-compliance, but we're really trying to work with the business community and be there to help them administer the program to their employees at this time. But that may be in the future.
Okay. If an employee has an existing Roth IRA that is not payroll deducted nor employer supported, would they be able to repurpose it to this plan?
So rollovers are accepted in to the program. That is correct.
Okay, we've had a lot of good questions. One last call for questions. Anything else out there? Oh, I think we might have one more. Yep. If you have several related businesses, does each business count their employees separately, or do you account for them cumulatively?
That's a great question. We received this one before, and that we may run into that issue with, people who own multiple franchises or restaurants, something along those lines. It really depends on how your structure is set up. So if the employers are identified by FEIN, so if all of your employees are employed under a single business entity, so say you had multiple locations, but each location was technically under the same business, central business, then they would all count. If they are all separate businesses, but have the same owner, just happen to have the same owner, then that would be considered separate businesses.
Okay, here's another one. Can an owner who does not draw a paycheck be part of the 5-employee count?
So under the eligibility to the eligibility for what an eligible employee is, an eligible employee is someone who has drawn wages from the employer. So that could or could not be an owner depending on whether they draw wages.
You have to have 5 though.
Yes, you do have to have 5. Yeah.
Okay. Last call for questions. Anything else out there? Okay, doesn't look like it. So we will conclude today's presentation. The slides will be emailed. You can watch the recording on our YouTube channel, which I'll put in the chat in a moment. We'll also email a link to the recording, and we'll have it on our site, bbb.org/CT. You can also find a list of the upcoming webinars and events and sign up for those as well on our website. Thank you so much to Natalie, to Jessica, and to Matt for taking time out of your busy schedules to speak with us today. Obviously, there's a lot of interest out there about this topic, so we really appreciate you being here. And thank you to the businesses as well for showing your commitment to your employees by attending today's webinar. We hope everyone has a great rest of the week and a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.